Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. So we're on page 67, if you're following along in the booklet, and it's number 43, Sustained Awareness. Now, sustained awareness is basically, your ability to be aware of your surroundings, right? When you're super focused, it's a lot like poking your finger into your hand, where awareness is being aware of all the sensations, right? So when we're focused, we're very one-pointed. We don't really pay attention to the surroundings. When we're aware of the surroundings, but we might not be quite as focused. And for our mind and cognitive functions to work properly, we need both. We don't need just one or the other. Now, awareness is really your ability to take in information. Like when you have awareness when you're coming across a new situation, if somebody is saying something to you, you're able to take it in and kind of process it, formulate whatever you need to do, and then it gets expressed somehow. Right? So awareness is key to our ability to cognitively process by taking things in. You could even say things like memory can be impacted by this because if we don't take the information in, then we can't really form the memory, right? So sometimes we have memory issues, but it's because we're not taking in the information. Now, to a greater degree, this has a regulating effect on the nervous system and on the body. When we get stuck in trauma loops, behavioral loops, any sort of negative loop, be it within the body or within our environment, because we can have behavioral loops like outside of us, or like we behave a particular way in social situations, and we're like, oh, why do we do that? Right. And part of it is that we lack awareness in that particular area. We have some sort of automatic behavior, automatic thinking. And so awareness helps with breaking down loops. It helps us to be more present. It makes us aware of our body. It makes us aware of our surroundings and makes us aware of how we think and feel about a situation. If we don't have any sort of sustained ability for sustained awareness, we might not even be aware of how we think and feel about any given situation. We just kind of react. We do whatever we get kind of triggered to do in that situation. And then later we go, God, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Why do I act this way? Why do I behave this way? And, you could really boil it down to aspects of your nervous system. There's cognitive functions as well, but a lot of it has to do with training your nervous system to be able to go into a parasympathetic state, which is rest and repair mode, but it's also how we process our emotions. And so it's key to a lot of functions that we really wouldn't think of, like, I have an issue with sustained awareness. Usually that's the issue, but it manifests in all these different areas. And so let's cultivate sustained awareness tonight. So you can see it's good in several kinds of conditions. The blend is Buddha mind. Your blend is Buddha mind. And you're going to start inhaling. Your awareness is on the left side of your body, left side of your face, neck, shoulder, your left ribs and left hip, down the outer leg to the left outer ankle. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on the left side, the whole left side, from the side of your face down to your ankle. Yeah, great. Now do the front side of your body, your face and throat, your chest, your abdomen, down the front of your legs to the tops of your feet, the whole front side of your body. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The right side of your body, the whole right side. Right side of your face and neck, your right shoulder, your right ribs and hip, down the outer leg to the right outer ankle. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then the back side of the body, the whole back side. You're inhaling. Your awareness is on the whole back side of your body, the back of your head and neck, your whole back, the back of your hips, down the backs of your legs to your heels. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then just pause and be still. Just pause and be still. You're just being still. So that's the standard approach. That's something that could be done daily, could be added to a stack that you do with other Auric programs, or it could be added to another process that you'd like to enhance the healing process of something that you're doing. Right. But now we're going to do the advanced approach. And with the advanced approach, you might only do this once or twice a week. This way you give your body time to acclimate and integrate what's happening. And same goes for your energy body. It gives your energy body time to assimilate and shift. So with that, you're still using the same oil. Again, you're inhaling with your awareness on the whole left side of your body. On the side of your face, neck, shoulder, ribs, hip, down the leg to the left outer ankle. Your awareness is on the back side of the body, back of your head and neck, your whole back, the back of your hips, down your legs to your heels, the whole back side of your body. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. You're still inhaling. Your awareness is on the back side of the body. Now move your awareness to the right side of your body, the whole right side of your face, neck, your right shoulder and ribs, your right hip, down the outer leg to the right outer ankle. And then move your awareness to the front side of your body, your face and throat, your chest, abdomen, front of your pelvis, down the fronts of your legs to the tops of your feet. Taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then pause and be still. And then you're just pausing. Just be still. Let it go. Just let it go. How's this feeling? Now we're going to do the next little segment or section. So your awareness is on your knees. Your awareness is on either your whole knee or at least the back of your knee. So your awareness is on your knees. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Awareness is still on your knees. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on the ankles. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the ankles. And then the soles of your feet. Your awareness is on the soles of your feet. And then you're just pausing, being still, and letting go. Okay, we're doing the 4 quadrants again. Your awareness is on the left side of your face and neck, your left shoulder, ribs, your hip, down the outer leg to the left outer ankle. Your awareness is on the front side of your body, your face and throat, your chest, abdomen, the front of your hips, down the fronts of your legs to the tops of your feet. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The right side of your body, right side of the face, neck, the right shoulder and right ribs and hip, down the leg to the right outer ankle. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the right side of your body. And then the back side of the body, back of the head and neck, your whole back, your hips, the backs of your legs, all the way down to your heels. And then pause and be still. You're just being still. Okay, we're going to do the last little application. Your awareness is on your brain. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the brain. Your awareness is on the spine. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the spine. The brain and spine both at the same time. The brain and soles of your feet. Now, as you inhale, move your awareness up above the ankle, lower it down into the earth as you exhale. Inhale up, exhale down. And then pause and be still. Just being still. Let it incubate. Okay, let's share experiences, ask questions. You can unmute yourself, type in. We'll do that, and then we'll jump into a deeper practice using this or some other oils if you want to try something else.
Hi, Greg. That was great.
Hey, hey.
I felt, tell me if this is correct or not, but I felt like when they take after you have like cords cut and they take roots out in pranic healing, I felt like things coming out of my heart chakra and my brain.
Yeah, I would say that like any time you cultivate sustained awareness, I mean, part of what's happening is you're shifting your nervous system. And so a lot of times, like our attachment to situations or a person, energetically we could say it's cords, but in the body it's neurological. And like when we have cords or a connection with somebody or something, it's a dysregulation in the sympathetic part of the nervous system, and it's also an overstimulation of intellect, or like instinctive response that turns into intellect. And then when we're releasing cords, we go into a more parasympathetic state, which means our body relaxes, our body shifts, it throws off old, dirty energy or low vibrational energy. But it also is that we go through and we process the emotion. And so, even with a chord, sometimes the issue is that the emotion might not even be ours. Like it might be the other person's, and it still hits our energy body and still affects our body in the same way as if we generated it. Then, if you take it a step further, this is what we're going to kind of explore a little bit, after we do the shares, is when you look at the idea of sustained awareness, for one, you're breaking loops in the body, right? But part of how you're doing that is by increasing awareness, like being able to be aware of like your breath and body tension and tension in your gut and all of these things, they impact some of the same centers in our head that are associated with homeostatic emotion. So things like anxiety, fear, anger are all tied to some of these same centers. And so by going through and practicing sustained awareness, you're kind of regulating these aspects in the brain and in the mind that then actually helps us to like process and like you said release or let go of some weird emotion because like sometimes it's not that we we can have an accumulation of an emotion, but sometimes our nervous system, especially when we're looking at some like homeostatic or lower emotion like fear, anger, irritation, resentment, the nervous system is constantly like generating that message because it's trying to get the attention of the brain. And so if it thinks your brain's not listening, it screams. Like it just is like, you're not hearing me, you're not listening. So by going through and practicing awareness on the body, awareness on these things, awareness on the situation, the body can go, oh, I feel heard. I don't have to scream my head off. I can just go, hey, I have a little problem. And it feels heard. And so it turns off some of this neurology that is dysregulated and super overstimulated. And that's why when we practice our sustained awareness, all of a sudden we feel a little calmer, we feel a little nicer. Like for me, I always joke, I feel a little more human. I feel a little bit more like, uh,
Yeah, I feel like if there was a word for this, like all marshmallowy, like I feel like
right. Yeah.
gooey, nice. I also have Uncle Bob and emotional elevation on my desk at work, so it works really great.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Those kind of push you in the same direction in different ways, but same idea. Yeah.
And then go ahead, Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Hi there. About halfway through, the prayer that came into my brain was the serenity prayer, God grant me the
Oh,
serenity
yeah, yeah,
things I
sure.
cannot change and blah blah
Right,
blah wisdom to know the difference. And then I
right,
thought, oh, this is how we gain the wisdom to know the difference.
right. So I think that's a beautiful insight. And, I think I shared this, I don't know, about like 3 or 4 months ago, where, it was some situation in my past. I don't like go into it, but, we all got stuff, right? And, some things went down and I wasn't happy about it. But at the same time, I was in a much better place because it happened. But I still was like, but this, but that, and then there's always the like, well, maybe if I would have done something different or this or that. And, y- you know, it, I, I would be pushing it to say that it was traumatic. I don't think it was traumatic, but it was upsetting because it changed a lot of things in my life. Not necessarily in a bad way, but still, it's like I didn't get to choose, you know, and thank God because life improved. But like when the point that I was trying to make is like I would sit and I would do this whole thing, sustained awareness with it, and just observing it and being aware of the breath and just being aware of the tension in the body and being aware of the tension in my gut. And I had this realization of it was always going to happen. Like it was always going to happen. Didn't matter what I did or what they did, or, we were just on different paths. And, it really helped let go of the story.
Mm,
The story was there, but it's kind of that same idea where you just, I don't know, having the ability to be aware of even just the body can shift so much, because when we don't have that awareness in the body, we're more prone to automatic thinking, automatic behaving, automatic, and all of those automatic behaviors, none of that has to do with serenity.
mhm,
Like you said, like the prayer that kind of
mhm,
arose in your mind. And I think of like when things happen and somebody takes like a little poke at you, or does something to like intentionally be a little snotty, when there's awareness and the vagal tone is all good and dysregulation, you can kind of just look at it and just go, oh look, they're trying to push a button, isn't that cute?
mhm.
Where like if you're dysregulated you're not. But again, where I'm going to is when the awareness is there, that is also when the serenity is there. Like you're saying, like the more we can keep tapping into that serenity, I would say over a period of time, it will be like a game changer for us. And I think
Yeah,
there's
and
always deeper levels of it,
yeah,
but it's a game changer.
yeah, and for me, like there's some things I'm working through right now, and really looking at being able to truly understand the difference between accepting things that I can't change, but changing those things that I can, but then
Right,
really being able to understand and know, well, when is it and when isn't it? When
right,
can I and when
right.
can't I? And so like being able to move into that clarity, I guess, that allows me to see it from that, let's call it a higher perspective, a broader perspective, something that
I would agree.
makes you go like what you were saying of, oh, well, this was always going to happen, or,
Right.
however it was going to unfold.
And like to build on what you're saying, I go back even to that situation. It was always going to happen, but at the same time, I needed to go through those steps.
Hmm.
Like I needed to be in the situation and I needed the situation to go away. Like just completely avoiding the situation wouldn't have been great for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like I definitely benefited being in the situation.
Right.
And so like even sometimes in those situations where, you're kind of measuring, okay, I can't change this, right? Or this is something I can change and not, I'm going to do something about it. But I would say there's even sometimes where like, I know I can't change this, but I still have to go through some of these steps. Like I know that it's probably not going to change anything, but for me, I still have to go through and do some of these steps so that when I walk away, I can truly walk away.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So anyway, thanks. This is great.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you had such a good experience.
Yeah.
And towards the end, someone shared getting hard to keep the awareness on the body.
Yeah.
Well, that's the shares for this week. And next week, have your Shaboomi handy
Ooh,
because next week is three brains.
brains.
All right, but now deeper cuts.
Yeah, so we're going to do a deeper dive on some of these things. And, like we were just talking about with Linda and some of these